So my focus at Catalyst is to provide public enrollment benefits to individuals in the community who are in need. Of those benefits, Florida Medicaid and Florida's Children's Health Insurance programs are most sought out by the members of our community. The state of Florida and the federal government share the cost of the Medicaid program. And out of the Medicaid program, it provides medical coverage to low-income individuals and their families. The Department of Children and Families determines Medicaid eligibility for parents and caretaker relatives of children, children up to the age of 18 years old, pregnant women, former foster care individuals, non-citizens with medical emergencies, and elderly or disabled individuals that are not currently receiving supplemental security income. Parents and caretakers may apply for Medicaid on behalf of their children. Those children that are eligible for Medicaid may enroll in child health checkup programs. Those programs are regularly scheduled health checkups, dental screenings, immunizations, and other medical services. Parents or caretaker relatives of children up to the age of 18 who live with them may be eligible for Medicaid if the family's income does not exceed certain limits. Pregnant women may qualify for Medicaid if their income does not exceed income limits. For pregnant women who do not meet citizenship requirements for Medicaid, they are issued temporary coverage for prenatal care. And after that coverage ends, the woman will be able to submit an application to determine their eligibility for ongoing Medicaid thereafter. Emergency medical assistance for non-citizens. Those who are eligible for Medicaid, except for their citizenship status, may be eligible for Medicaid to cover a serious medical emergency. This includes emergency labor and delivery of a child. Medicaid cards are permanent gold Medicaid cards that are issued to each individual who is eligible for Medicaid. This card should be presented to medical providers when medical care is being requested. That medical care that's being requested could be dental visits, regular doctor visits, physician checkups, or any medical assistance that's needed at the moment. In order to qualify for this benefit program, you must be a resident of the state of Florida, you must have a citizen or satisfactory immigration status, and you must be in need of health care or insurance assistance, and have a financial situation that would be characterized as low income or very low income. Of the annual household income, you must have less than or equal to the following amounts. You must have a household size of 1, and the maximum income level for that year is $16,600. If you have a household size of 2, the maximum income level for that year is $22,400. If you have a household size of 3, the maximum income level for that year is $28,369. For households of more than 8 people, you must add an additional $5,878 per person, and always ensure that you're checking the appropriate managing agency to ensure the most accurate guidelines. A public charge and admissibility assessment is made when a person applies to enter the U.S. and applies to adjust status to become a lawful permanent resident, which is obtaining a green card. Public charge doesn't apply to everyone. So it doesn't apply to those who are lawful permanent residents, which is if you have a current green card holder, and if you're applying for citizenship, lawful permanent residents applying for renewal of their green cards, DACA holders applying for renewal of DACA status, refugees and asylum seekers, VAWA self-petitioners, survivors of domestic violence, trafficking, or other serious crimes, special immigrant juveniles, certain parolees, and several other categories of non-citizens. For more information, you could contact the Department of Children and Families. They're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or you could contact Catalyst Miami for additional information as well. For Florida Managed Care, you can change or enroll in a health plan calling the customer service number. They're available Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you for listening, and I will pass it on to Deshawn.
Thank you so much, Kay. As I mentioned before, I'm Deshawn, the Director of Worker-Owned Enterprises at Catalyst. And I'm just gonna ask my colleagues here, can you all see what's on my screen? Giving a thumbs up, awesome. So Today I'll be discussing a little bit more about worker cooperatives as well as our worker-owned enterprises program at Catalyst. And before proceeding to our program, I thought it'd be worthwhile to kind of take a step back and describe a little bit more about what a worker cooperative is. So, a worker cooperative is, it is a business. Just as a business, a worker cooperative is interested in making sure that operations are streamlined. You are considering your customer segments. You are thinking critically about how you are going to plan your business. All of those things are a worker cooperative, but there are a couple of key distinctions that exist. So a worker cooperative is owned and managed by the people who work there. So in a traditional business, let's say a small business, there might be one or two owners, and they tend to make the decisions about operations, finances, and then they also are the ones who primarily get the net income from the business. When you look at bigger businesses, there are probably could be hundreds, maybe even thousands of shareholders who actually benefit from the profit of that business. But then there are also a select few that make decisions about that business. In a worker cooperative, the workers, the people who actually do the day in, day out operations of the business, own and manage the business. So by ownership, they get to actually share in the profits of the business. When you consider what it means that they manage the business, they are the ones who are going to be playing a role in those operations, the finances, thinking about the marketing. Those workers tend to play a bigger role in that space. Now, there are also distinct values that exist within a worker cooperative. Worker control. As I mentioned before, workers tend to play some sort of role in managing the business. But in managing the business and also in owning the business, they have an interesting stake at the success of the business. So that control often leads to increased retention of those workers. There's also nonstop learning. Because the workers are going to be involved in various aspects of the business, it is worthwhile that those workers actually get a chance to learn about different segments of the business. So not only will Malcolm learn about how he's going to do his role day in, day out, but he's also going to have a sense of what the overall finances are. And to know what those overall finances are, he needs to actually know how to read the financial statements. And so that nonstop learning is a key feature of worker cooperatives as well. And then by their very nature, there's an environmental concern and community benefit as well, because these cooperatives tend to be rooted in community. The workers live in the community. They care about the outcomes of their community. And by that, they also care about what the environment looks like locally. So what are perhaps some of the key performance aspects of a worker cooperative? Better jobs, better benefits, and the profits go to workers. So because it's collectively owned and managed, workers tend to have a better say in the way that they'll get paid, what the hours might look like, what those benefits might look like. But then at the end of the year, the profits of the business are going to go back to the workers, which creates this interesting space where the workers actually are going to have a different relationship with their job. It's not only their job, but it's a pathway to wealth and prosperity for themselves and their families. But because of each of those aspects, there's also a commitment to the workplace that is different than perhaps a traditional job. If you are a worker and at the end of the year, you're going to get some of those profits as a worker owner, your direct efforts that you put into the business are going to show up at the end of the year in your pocket. So that means that you're going to have a different sort of relationship, because when the business succeeds, you'll also have a chance to succeed. And worker cooperatives tend to be better during economic crises. If workers have a sense of what the financial dollars in, dollars out look like for the business, they're going to come to a certain agreement and understanding of what needs to happen to make sure that the business survives. And so worker cooperatives during economic crises, they tend to decrease pay to ensure no one gets laid off. Whereas normal businesses, if the owner is trying to maintain the bottom line, they might just have to let some folks go. But if each of those workers are owners, they see each worker as a key aspect of making sure that that business maintains some level of prosperity. So with that, what is the Worker-Owned Enterprises program at Catalyst? We have three key aspects: the academy, the incubator, and the ecosystem. In the academy, it's a 12-week basically course 3 hours, usually on Thursdays, where we bring together learners who want to learn about cooperatives, perhaps want to launch their own cooperative, or kind of see what the role could be within the ecosystem. That academy, you get paid $15 an hour to attend, and it is comprised of 3 separate segments. The first is, what is a cooperative? Kind of like what we've done today. It is a chance to delve into what are the benefits, what are the challenges that might exist, but where are the distinct opportunities locally to build a cooperative business. The second component of it, the second segment, will be looking into how do you actually business plan? So looking at your customer segments, looking at your value proposition, thinking about your partnerships. We will actually spend time in the academy delving into each of those areas to ensure that every participant actually has a sense of what their business could look like. And then in that last segment of the academy, we actually think about what it will take to launch. You will get a chance to figure out your story. You'll get a chance to figure out what does a legal structure look like for a cooperative? And also, what are the financing opportunities that you might have? All of that leads to the incubator in some senses. The incubator is going to be a deep dive consultation space where people who go through the academy primarily apply to the incubator so that they can receive the support that they need to launch their business. We do a deep, exhaustive intake process where we delve into what key aspects do you need to work on over the course of maybe 12 months, 18 months together to launch your cooperative business. So that could be anything from marketing, governance, financial planning, expense reports, the things that you'll hear from Malcolm later on when it comes to business support. We provide all those kinds of services or connect you with people within our network that can support your business and get it off the ground. And then, of course, we have the ecosystem part as well. And that is in spaces like today, where we engage with folks like yourselves and others in the nonprofit, for-profit, and public sectors in ensuring that we're building an environment in Miami-Dade County that is conducive to growing cooperative businesses. So that means working with some of our nonprofit partners to see who can provide some recruitment support, perhaps, who could provide some maybe wraparound support that the participants might need to actually be able to participate and grow their business, perhaps. We engage the private sector to think about, are there lawyers or are there accountants who can help our cooperative businesses along the way? And then, of course, the public sector, as always, to consider what the ecosystem, whether that's policies, whether that is, opportunities that the county might have or anchor institutions might have to ensure that these businesses have a chance to thrive and prosper here locally. And so with all of that, I just wanted to say, please stay in touch. My email is on the screen right now. It's deshawnw@catalystmiami.org. If you want to learn more about the academy, you want to learn more about the incubator, you want to talk shop about what cooperatives are, please feel free to just get in touch. And I'm always here to answer any questions or provide any guidance in the space as well. And with that, I'll stop sharing my screen and pass it over to Malcolm.
Great. I'm happy to present after Deshawn because there's a lot of intersections between small businesses and working on co-ops. Really just understanding how you want to launch your business is kind of where the small business program begins. And, there's a lot of different ways to think about what a business is and how you can make that vision occur. So I encourage folks to definitely look into worker owned co-ops if they're looking for, a different way to launch their business. As I mentioned before, my name is Malcolm Cardona Spence. I'm the small business manager with Catalyst. And today we'll get you a little bit up to speed about what the program is doing and how you can get involved. So as many folks may know, Catalyst Miami has been in the community for quite a while. We're going past 25 years now, doing different work, and really of late, we've intentionally expanded to provide a lot of different wealth building initiatives, some of which we're describing on this call today, and one of which is the small business services, which continues to grow and expand as we talk to community members and try to find solutions for issues that communities are facing. Catalyst Miami's program began in 2020 of May of last year. There was a lot of questions around the pandemic and uncertainty, and in the small business space, folks were looking at forms of assistance like PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, or EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and just different ways that they could possibly get help. What we realized is a lot of folks weren't aware that there was support out there, and a lot of folks just didn't know where to turn. And because we had such a large client base already, a lot of which may have been independent contractors or solopreneurs, sole proprietors, we found there was a large gap in the space, and we started to hit the community running. We engaged folks in the community, did surveys, and really developed this program as a value add and support to businesses that are anywhere from an entrepreneur just getting started, or someone looking to incorporate some idea, as far as folks that have been doing it for years and just need to sort of restructure or pivot, or really just reanalyze the core of their business. So since the program's inception, we've assisted over 150 small businesses, and we've surveyed and spoken to and referred, over 300 businesses in Miami-Dade County. So we're really looking for ways to develop, equitable programs and policies for Miami-Dade. And these are some of the services we offer internally. Businesses can come, as I said, at different stages. So it can be a business looking to incorporate. A lot of folks come to us looking for assistance with forming a business plan, or writing financial projections, or really just understanding what form do I have to fill out, what's the best way for my business to incorporate. Different organizational questions that do come up and are common, and shouldn't be afraid to ask if you need assistance with something like that, or just need someone to speak to on the topic. Brand development, this can include a number of things, from marketing to getting your business on larger platforms, to digitize your business. Could be just getting online, and it could be just really analyzing your market, how you're going to engage and develop your brand. Business development is more focused on, the elements that are required for you to launch your business successfully. Like, what are the key partnerships you're establishing? What are your key activities that are really going to allow you to grow and hit the goals you'd like to hit? Financial assistance, folks who are ready for loans or grants to really scale their business and are trying to figure out how to get through that application process. We really help folks get ready to apply for these opportunities, as well as help folks try to attain different financial support. And capacity building. In general, this could look like allowing your business the opportunity to achieve higher contracts, positioning yourself better to reach higher goals for your business. This is sort of the continuum of businesses we work with. As I've described, businesses can be anywhere from a business just getting established, still thinking through the idea, maybe, the initial incorporation stages, to businesses that are ready to contract, that may be looking at our local institutions that, are already spending their procurement specifically in different areas, but want to support our local community. So we're here to help folks really tackle and expand and grow their businesses. Between the services we offer here and with our network, there's a platform here where folks can come and reach out and get support. Some of the partners we work with to achieve these goals are Community Fund of North Miami-Dade. A lot of our work is centered in North Miami. We have a lot of projects going on there. And I know Julio will speak later on some of the stuff we got going on in North Miami as well. But there's partners that fit into this continuum in all different areas. SBDC at FIU has a large team of consultants. So depending on if you have a specific business need that may be a niche industry, there may be a consultant out there with experience there. We love to support folks from all industries, but we do recognize that some folks may need more targeted assistance. So we develop these partners for these reasons. Dade County Federal Credit Union, it has been a partner since their efforts with the RISE Fund last year, and really supporting folks throughout the pandemic. accesshelps.org is a great resource that we recommend to all folks that are individuals or small business owners, families that need some sort of assistance. This website keeps up to date with all financial assistance opportunities and opportunities that you may be able to apply for if you're looking for support. HACOFF, the Haitian American Chamber, as well as other chamber, the North Miami Chamber and other chambers we work with all throughout Miami-Dade. The South Florida Anchor Alliance is another initiative that is really helping us tackle that goal of capacity building for our small businesses. Contracting with anchors, that's where we'd like to see the capacity built in a great way. And we're working with different partners and anchors to try to kind of condense this process and make this a more attainable goal for the businesses we work with. So we're working with local institutions regarding what all these certifications mean and what all these different certifying agencies are. Folks may want to be certified as a minority business enterprise or a woman-owned business, but really there's different entities that recognize different certifications. So we're working with anchors to establish a one-stop shop sort of clear reasoning for certain certifications to achieve certain opportunities. And we can get into more detail as far as how to achieve what a contract with an anchor with Miami-Dade schools or Broward schools or wherever it may be. We can definitely talk about that further. That's part of our support services. But this is just meant to be a brief overview to get an understanding of how our support services are set up and how we may be able to offer assistance. So with that, if you have any questions, please contact us. You can email myself directly or also find us on our website, catalystmiami.org. There's a /small business section where you can submit your information and get in touch. But with that, I'll conclude our small business portion. And next, we're going to hear from Julio in regards to some of our North Miami work.
Thank you, Malcolm. Can you please show us the website? And while you're doing that, my name is Julio. I am the economic justice organizer at Catalyst Miami. I started in Catalyst just the beginning of 2021 to help organize community in North Miami. More than a service, we have an amazing opportunity in North Miami where we're looking for community members who would like to help us identify the opportunity to do an investment cooperative. We're looking to buy a property that will host or rent at some point or at every point between 6 to 8 different businesses. So it will be a commercial property, and we'll be able to have 6 to 8 front business places in which we'll be able to collect rent and then be able to pay that as dividends to those who own the investment cooperative. We are hoping, what we would like to do is for community members to own the property. So we're looking for 350 families in the area of North Miami who at some point will be buying shares that will have a value of the property. And this is, we're also looking at the property to increase in value. We've seen how all of the gentrification and happening in Miami-Dade County, especially in North Miami. So what we want is to give the community an opportunity to own part of the community. And we believe this is a great opportunity. So what are we looking for? First of all, it would be up to a $2 million property. And those who are end up buying the shares, we're hoping that over the years they're going to see an increase in the value of their shares because of the increase in the value of the property and the dividends that the business is going to be paying through rent. We are currently looking for community champions. We already have a very strong team, but we are still missing some members who can help us identify where we can buy it, what we need to buy it, and also identify who should be the investors, how that community should look like. We've been having a lot of conversations, but we're moving into the implementation, and it would be great to have whoever is listening, and especially if you live in North Miami, to go to the website and check it out. And also at the bottom, sign up to get more information. And whether if you want to be a community champion, or if you want to be an investor, or if you want to help recruit investors in the near future, please sign up. If you have more questions, you can reach out to me at julioc@catalystmiami.org. And I hope to see you all. Thank you. Now I guess I'll pass it to Shannon, right?
Thank you, Julio, for sharing that information. And good afternoon again, guys. My name is Shannon Charles. I'm the Director of Workforce Development at Catalyst Miami. And I'm going to talk to you today about two different opportunities at Catalyst Miami that I am currently leading. So the first opportunity came to us about 2 years ago from the Miami Foundation, and it was an opportunity to address the issue of unemployment in Miami-Dade County, which is, I would say, not a very easy task. However, we have some wonderful partners who we are collaborating with on this project, and we've been driving this work forward for the last 2 years. Out of this discussion that we've been having, we formed the Building Prosperity Workforce Cohort, which is a program that I lead out on. So this cohort is similar to the other cohorts at Catalyst Miami. However, mine lasts a little bit longer. So this is a program that is run throughout the year. And the focus of this program is in several different areas. And while I'm speaking, let me just pull up my presentation so that you guys can follow along with me on the slides. So as I mentioned, this initiative is directed towards really figuring out a way to create more living wage job opportunities in Miami-Dade County, and creating pathways for people to really succeed and move forward in their jobs and advance professionally. As most of us know, Miami and Florida in itself has become a high cost but low wage state. So there's been a big focus on us pushing for creating more living wage job opportunities, to prevent people from having to work multiple jobs to make ends meet. And I think that we've been doing a really good job of collecting information and really working together. And I know Malcolm mentioned earlier the South Florida Anchor Alliance, and we're under that umbrella. And we have some really interesting partners who I think have been really focused on doing some intentional work to kind of solve this issue of unemployment. There are several people who we can say are unemployed, and there also is a large number of people who are underemployed. So our goal is to create opportunities for these people to be able to advance professionally. And I think that as we continue having these discussions, we're creating different strategies. We're coming up with different strategies and innovative ways to connect people to the workforce and to eliminate some of the barriers and challenges that people are facing. So the Building Prosperity Workforce Cohort is a program that, as I said, I lead out on. We meet virtually twice a month, and the focus is really connecting people to employment opportunities, but also provide them with professional development training, as well as some other things. And you'll see on the next slide the actual structure of the workforce cohort. So as I mentioned, there's professional development training, creating networking opportunities, but there's also creating connections to workforce and employment programs. The next thing is making these meaningful connections to employers. Also, a part of the work is workforce participant support. And lastly, collection of participant feedback. So in terms of professional development training, there's a lot of work that we're doing around, providing people with tools like helping them to build LinkedIn profiles, helping them to understand how to better navigate job websites like Indeed, Glassdoor. Idealist.org is another one that we often share with the group participants. And then it's really about creating networking opportunities. So I facilitate some of the sessions. However, I have invited some of my external partners in to also talk about different opportunities around Miami-Dade County, because the idea is that we want to provide access to these resources for residents who may not know of these opportunities. One of the major things that we've battled with in this environment is really the digital divide, and people having access to the internet and having access to computers and Wi-Fi and things of that nature. So we try to eliminate some of those barriers by providing information in different ways, whether it's through social media channels, whether it's through handouts or postings around the county. We want to ensure that everyone is getting access to that same information. Then there's also connection to workforce employment programs. When I first began the cohort, what I did was I interviewed several different organizations throughout Miami-Dade County to find out where there are similarities amongst these programs, as well as where there were gaps in services. And getting the opportunity to speak with so many different organizations, I learned about so many services that are available and so many resources that are out in the community that I share with the workforce participants. And then the other part of it is really, so we're not necessarily a workforce program. However, we do have relationships with employment programs throughout Miami-Dade County that do have these existing relationships with employers, and they're able to connect people to these employers to get interviews and so forth. And then another part of it is workforce participant support. The workforce participant support, I think, is one of the unique parts of the cohort experience that I really enjoy, because you get to see individuals as they're as they're kind of navigating through their professional journey, and they're getting an opportunity to discuss with each other their experiences. And they're there to, you have other members who are able to, add their, who are able to support them and also share experiences that they've gone through and, offer advice. We have a very diverse group of people who, some who are college graduates, others who are just entering college, others who may just have a high school diploma, others who've had tons of work experience, and then others who are just trying to enter the workforce. So it's a very unique group of people, a very diverse group that really shares time together. And I think they get the most out of the experience. So we meet twice a month in the evenings via Zoom from 6 to 7:30 on Wednesdays. And for participation in each session, you're paid a stipend of $50. So that is, in a nutshell, what the workforce cohort is about. The next cohort will be starting in February 2022. So I look forward to engaging a new group of workforce participants. So out of this opportunity with the Building Prosperity Workforce cohort work, another special opportunity arose, which was the Workforce Navigation Grant. And this program was designed to assist unemployed and underemployed Miami-Dade County residents and accelerate the hiring process towards employment and enroll in training programs with the Miami-Dade County public school system. So this is to give you kind of like a snapshot. This is like a little chart of the Workforce Navigation Grant. So we have the Miami-Dade County Public Schools, who has immediate employment opportunities. There are 3 opportunities that are listed here: the bus driver, custodians, and temporary substitute teacher. However, there is another position, which is fecal mechanic position. So these were identified as 4 hard to fill positions. And our goal was to connect with vulnerable populations and get people to access some of these positions. So we hired a group of workforce navigators who were there to assist people throughout the application process. So whenever a person showed any interest in the position and they were interested in applying, they were connected to a workforce navigator who would lead them through the process. We realized that sometimes the application process can also be a barrier in itself. So we wanted to have someone for these applicants to connect with, to be able to ensure that they were able to complete the entire process. And then the other side of it is the candidate upskilling and training certification program options. So again, we have Miami-Dade County Public Schools, their adult vocational programs, and you'll see a little bit more about the different opportunities as we go through the presentation. And then you have Florida International University, who has two wonderful programs, one being the Constructions Trade Certification Program, as well as the Urban Potentials Laboratory, which is a healthcare upskilling program. So first, what is the Urban Potentials Laboratory? It's a 14-week program providing training in healthcare careers for learners who do not currently have a college degree. Classes are taught by FIU professors and healthcare leaders. And you're asking yourself, why would I want to be a part of the Urban Potentials Laboratories? It's one of South Florida's largest industries, and one of South Florida's largest industries is healthcare and hospitals. This industry is always in demand and always in need of talent. There's good pay, good benefits, and a satisfying work. So these are 5 reasons to join. It's free of cost. You get industry standard curriculum. There are hospital partners embedded in the program. It's virtual, they're evening classes. So if you're currently holding a daytime job, you are able to attend the classes in the evening. And they also provide wraparound services as well. So what's in the curriculum? Just to give you like a little snapshot, there's professional skills, healthcare administrative training, clinical training, and hospital partner training. So there's coaching for entry-level healthcare professionals, things like building a LinkedIn profile, financial literacy. You're also taught like medical terminology, medical office procedures, general healthcare administration. And some of the interesting things that you can see in parentheses, it's kind of highlighting who some of the partners are, like Baptist Health South Florida is one of the partners. There's also Microsoft is one of the other partners. So there's several like well-acclaimed partners who are part of this process. So what certifications are included with participating in this program? You get the American Heart Association Basic Life Support for Healthcare Provider Certification. You get American Heart Association First Aid Certification. And you get the FIU UP Labs Health Program Completion Certificate, as well as FIU's Office of Continuing Education unit. So you get CEUs for participating in this cohort. So where do our graduates work? To give you a snapshot, they work at some of the bigger healthcare systems throughout Miami-Dade County and Fort Lauderdale. So Miami Memorial Health Systems, Mercy Hospital, Aventura, the VA Hospital, Jackson Memorial Hospital. So there are quite a few different healthcare facilities that are listed here. So I'm not sure the exact numbers, but they do have a very successful rate of connecting people to employment opportunities. So eligibility, you have to be an adult 18 years or older, high school diploma or GED. Household income must be under $52,300. And as I mentioned, the classes are Mondays through Fridays, 6 to 9 p.m. in the evenings. And I'm not sure when the next cohort will be starting, but I can get that information for you. But there will be one starting sometime next year. I believe they're graduating their 3rd or 4th cohort this December. So just to tell you a little bit about the construction trade program, which is also offered through FIU, the program introduces the student to basic construction trades aligned with industry needs and standards. It gives participants a passport to well-paying, high-demand jobs, and it's also a 14-week certificate program. These are some of the certificates that are earned. You get your OSHA 30-hour construction safety certification, your personal protection equipment certification, forklift certification, and then you have your choice of one of the trades listed below. So you can either do electrical, carpentry, plumbing, sprinkler fitting, or construction craft laborer. And you also get your Florida Department of Education pre-apprenticeship completion certificate, as well as your FIU program completion certificate. Classes are offered in English and Spanish. And what's unique about this program is that they have 2 different options. So you have the daytime classes, you have 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then 5 to 9 p.m. So you have 2 different options based upon your work schedule. The next is the Miami-Dade County Public Schools Adult Vocational Studies. And, benefits to attending a technical college, quality and affordable education, in-demand career training, you earn a certificate or license, it's nationally accredited, financial aid to those who qualify, you graduate without student loans, and there's job placement assistance, which I think is one of the advantages, one of the major advantages of going through one of these vocational programs is these connections to different employers. So here's just a list of some of the different programs throughout Miami-Dade County and information on the website. And here is just a snapshot of the different programs that are offered. And of course, there are more programs that are offered through the rapid credentialing through Miami-Dade Technical College, but an idea of some of them are automated service technology, HVAC technician, phlebotomy, patient care technicians, and truck driving as well. So that concludes my presentation. Well, that portion of it. I do want to stop sharing my screen for a second so that I can also provide you with just a quick snapshot of all of the stuff that I just mentioned to you. So I'm going to share my screen once again to show you the flyer for the workforce navigation. We're partnering with the City of Miami Opportunity Center. So they are the main contacts for the job positions, but we've created a flyer with links that are embedded in it. So you're able to click on any of the links and it directly takes you to whatever website it is for you to be able to apply. So it has the positions, the custodian, substitute teacher, vehicle mechanic, and school bus drivers with all of the different requirements so that you can see them. And then it talks about the construction trades and the urban potential laboratory, along with the rapid credentialing programs. And last, I just want to show you that we also created a website, a landing page, so that makes it easier for you guys through Catalyst Miami, so that you're able to access all of the different services that I just mentioned. And that is also, one second. So it's catalystmiami.org/Miami Workforce. And it shows you, gives you a little information about, this opportunity. And then it's basically, it highlights all the different positions and certification programs, as well as rapid credentialing programs. And under each dropdown, you'll see the qualifications with the links and information for you to apply. So just to show you another one as well. So all the information you need is on our website. And we also have flyers that have that same information. So that concludes my portion of the presentation. Thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thanks, Shannon. And thank you to all my colleagues. I think my colleagues and I were all very happy to share a little bit about our programs. I think Catalyst has a lot more to offer beyond what we've described today, but we do encourage you to reach out, catalystmiami.org, to find out more information about each individual program. You could also contact us at 305-576-5001 if you'd like to speak to our intake and get directed to what service may be best suitable for you. But with that, that'll conclude our presentation for today. And we hope you all have a great day.